Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So yeah, this is actually the day that I need to post this video. It's been a rough couple days. Not rough in a bad way, but rough just in a, I just been really tired and just needing to chill out. I'm just now getting around to this. So this video gets posted a little later. My bad. But it's getting posted today. So this weekend my plan was to actually go look at apartments and potentially finding a 2-bedroom. I talked about that last week, but the weather yesterday sucked. It just suddenly started snowing out of nowhere after it's been pretty warm lately, and it was just gloomy and snowy, and I'm like, right now what I want to do is I actually want to start a new painting and kind of chit chat while I start a new painting. There are a few things I want to talk about. Mainly I want to talk a little bit about my art journey and trajectory, my art trajectory, and what really I want to do with it and where I want it to go. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Let me wash my face. Let me wash my face first before I really get into this video. There we go. So I'm getting all my paint supplies out of my bedroom because I'm gonna paint in the living room this time around. All of my supplies are in my bedroom because I did my Watch Me Struggle video that I posted on Friday. These are the shoes I painted for it. This was my first time painting shoes, so yeah, check that video out. I'm gonna link it. You guys remember when I organized this? But I'm gonna bring all this in. So here I am. I have the canvas. I just have to get everything all set up. Now I actually don't know what I'm going to paint. I've mentioned before that I'm trying to just cover all my small canvases. I don't care what I put on them. I just need them to be covered so they're not chilling in my corner. So I'm just gonna find something. Actually, there are a few things I screenshotted. Sure, I'm gonna paint that. The glare, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna paint this while I chit chat. So first I'm gonna kind of do the grid method with this. It's just gonna be pretty bigger because I just don't feel like doing the most with putting it on my computer and setting it up. Okay, I think I drew enough on start actually painting it. So, who's watching All American? I just finished season 2 of that. Now I know the finale just happened, but I binge watched it within the last week or so. So I caught up. Because there's only 2 seasons. But ooh, that show got some snaps, let me tell you. For it to be like a football centered show, which is so many movies and so many TV shows that we know of are kind of centered around this very general story. I really like some of the characters on the show and just how they go about keeping it interesting beyond football. And everybody is pretty good actors and actresses, except that one. I wouldn't say Olivia's my favorite in terms of acting. I think her like stressed face is, it's just like her face is always the same, like stressed facial expression. So after a while, I'm just like, all right, girl, come on, calm down. But yeah, I ain't here to talk about that. I wanted to talk about my career. Not my career, what am I saying? I wanted to talk about my art journey, Ashley as an artist, and what Ashley as an artist is and what does it look like. Part of the reason why I feel inspired to talk about this is because it's something that's been on my mind, so I want to talk about what's on my mind, but also just because it is a thing that comes up over and over again when I'm having discussions with people. So over on Instagram land, I don't have a lot of followers here on YouTube, but I have a lot more followers on Instagram, and then I have Young Black Artists, which also gets me in touch with quite a few people. So I can confidently say that I get this question a lot, and also just amongst my friends and family, like, what are you doing? What is this art leading you to? I think that people assume that because I'm doing art and I'm pretty good at art, that it's something that I'm trying to make into a career. And so then it just opens up a lot of suggesting on many people's part of, this is what you should be doing and this is what you shouldn't be doing. And I think that in general I've let people down just because it's like, well, I expected you to be doing more, or I expected you to be able to fill my commissions and whatever. But really, it does still beg the question of, well, what's up? Like, what am I doing? Just so everybody's clear. Really, I would say the answer to that question is, I don't know. That's like the easiest answer I can give right now. There was a time in my life where I wanted to just be an artist, and even now I still think about it like, maybe this is something I should strive to be fully, is 100% full-time artist status. That is something that is still on the table. I can't say it's not. But because of my career as a product designer, some of the other things that I'm doing, it's just made that very confusing, honestly. It's made me very uncertain about what I should be focusing my time and my strength on. One thing that I mentioned before, I think I mentioned before, that I don't want to let get in the way of me as an artist is money. Of course, I would love to sell my art, get it out my apartment, make bank off of it, but I don't want that to be the driver behind why I'm creating, because I need to make money and I need to pay bills and I think that I just don't want that pressure on myself, because that's the thing that stops me from creating. Although it should be the opposite. It should be like, oh, well, because you have this pressure, you're working harder, and you grinding, that doesn't work for me. I'm just not that. I'm using the wrong marker. I'm trying not to be frustrated right now, but I am. Man, I'm trying so hard not to be frustrated, but I grabbed the wrong black marker. I'm supposed to be using this one, the Liquitex, and I'm using this stupid one. Maybe I should just get rid of those markers. This is so frustrating. So if you saw my old video, like one of my videos, maybe a couple weeks ago, I was using that marker and then I showed how it bleeds when you paint with it. I know it looks like I'm just covering up all my hard work that I just did for the past hour or so, but it's not as bad as you think. This sucks because it doesn't look as defined as it looked before, but I'm actually kind of heated, but I'm trying to not be heated because it's not that big of a deal. So one thing that's top of mind other than my art career is where my YouTube is going. And I've wanted to have a YouTube forever. I remember I was in like middle school when I started using YouTube. It was around middle school. So this is when YouTube was new. I was on it. I've always been one of those people who was like up on like the new technology. Makes sense why I became a UX designer, but I just remember then wanting to kind of do this, and then in college being like, well, let me go ahead and do it. I made a channel with my friend Tashima, but I think we got scared and we just never like followed through with it. I know Shima watches my videos, so correct me. Why did we never follow through with that, you know? But I think it was because we were scared. Here I am, I have a YouTube. I'm posting to it. I'm trying to be consistent. I post twice a week. I can only say I've been doing this for almost 3 months or 3 months. I came up with like a plan for it. I'm a really good planning type person, but follow through is a whole nother thing. But I came up with a plan for what I want to post for the rest of the year. When I want to post it, eventually I want to go up to 3 posts a week. One way to grow your channel, or really the way to grow your channel, is to post often and consistently, just to keep posting. I really want to commit to my YouTube, and I really want to commit to my art. And going back to what I was talking about before I started talking about YouTube, where is my art and my career going in that sense? What I can say is that I want to commit to it, and what committing to it actually ends up looking like is what I don't know. So whatever committing to my art actually means, that's what I'm doing. And right now I think committing to my art means, yeah, I'm right in front of the window where the sun comes in, I guess, in the morning. But committing to my art, whatever path that means, whatever path that takes me down, is what my career is. So that goes back to me saying I don't know. Although I've always been a big planner, I've always been big on being like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do for next year. This is like, I can get as granular as week by week. This is what I'm gonna be doing. I can say for all my planning people who want to be in control of everything in their life, of course, it doesn't always work like that. It doesn't, you know, I think planning works when you're working a corporate job, but outside of that, things always get derailed. Sometimes other things come up, and a lot of times those things that come up are actually better than what you had planned. So for my art, I don't want to plan so much as to just commit. Committing to my art is really the goal. And it would be nice if I could do this full time, it would be really nice. That would be ideal, to be able to say to be able to get up every morning and this being my job. That would be really nice. Like, there was a time where I was really focused on going full time, and I wasn't really painting as much then. I wasn't really caring too much about what I was doing at the time. I wasn't creating, and I thought that I needed to take a full-time 9 to 5, I guess, off of my plate in order to be able to actually create. I thought that that was what was like standing in between me and creating more, was the fact that I was working a 9 to 5, and it wasn't. It wasn't necessarily what was standing between me and creating. It was just what I was doing at the time. It was the job that I had at the time. It was the relationship I was in at the time. It was just a lot of things that was going on at the time where I just wasn't mentally in a place to even care to create. I'm not really sure why I picked this blue, but I really like this color in general. I like using it when I paint. I just went with it. I kind of want to stick to a blue vibe. This is like similar to my Jhené Aiko painting. I guess what I'm trying to say is being full-time is not necessarily the fix, or being a full-time artist is not the fix. And as much as I want to rush to that part of my life where I'm just working for myself and I'm living it up and I'm doing what all the other amazing artists that I follow, not all, but many of them are doing, I just feel like if I do that, or once I get to that point in my life that I'm ready for it, and that I'm doing it for the right reasons and not just because that's the expectation of me. One thing that I want all the artist people to keep in mind who follow me, especially the ones who see me as, I guess, an example, an artist that they look up to, you literally have to do what works for you. And as simple and basic and cliche as that sounds, it's everything. I don't even know how I got to talk about this. But if you're not happy with anything that you're doing in life, make an adjustment. And I know this from my conversations. There are a lot of artist people who feel bad and feel a lot of pressure because they feel like they're not doing what they're expected to do as an artist. Well, I haven't been posting to my Instagram. I haven't been posting to my YouTube. I haven't been I haven't been painting, or I haven't been writing. I haven't been singing. I haven't done these things that I need to be doing, and I'm watching so many other people pass me by. Ain't nobody passing you by. In my opinion, that idea of people passing you by is a myth. But when it comes to your gift, and when it comes to your craft, when it comes to what you do and when you do it, nobody's passing you by. You're not on the same road. That's like somebody being in Dubai and here I am in Indianapolis, Indiana, and they're on a road in Dubai. I'm on a road here. And I'm like, they're passing me by. How? It's not even possible for them to pass me by, right? Because they're in a completely different country on a completely different road. How is that even possible? Everybody is on their own road. Everybody's in their own dimension almost. You have no idea what's in store for your life. And sitting around stressing about it, or trying to plan it, or trying to day by day decide what you're gonna do, it's not about how much planning you do sometimes. And I'm not talking about like speaking things into your life, you know, or manifesting, but that's very different than planning what it's going to be. Because when you plan, it hardly ever goes as planned, and you're upset and you're annoyed. And all we can do as an artist is make a commitment. I hope all of that makes sense. So I'll spend another hour and a half just painting her, and I'll show that footage. This is how far I got. This is still very beginning stage. This is probably about like an hour and a half to 2 hours of just total of me working on this. I probably need another few hours really to get the colors down and everything else, but comment below and let me know how you like this video, this chit chat. Did you learn anything? Anything that I said interesting? Just let me know, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.